Some of the things we do to support our Koorie families, because we have a high population of Koorie families at our centre, I meet with all the families and go through the transition statement with them. We fill it out together, or I can help them fill it out for them, and then we go through it and use that as a basis for a chat about how they feel about their child going to school, and whether they're comfortable going to the school, what school they've chosen to go to, and if I can help support them in any other way with that transition process.
Now, these are young parents, which is really good because they're really supportive of their children going to school because they never had that chance of having access to kindergarten, and that's why they're so supportive of their child going to kinder, giving them that best start that they never had.
We run a bus service here for a lot of the Indigenous children that do come here because they don't have the transport to get to kinder, so that's important in our eyes, getting them here for that early childhood education. So the method of communicating through Facebook, emails and stuff is particularly important for those families who we don't see on a regular basis.
We actually have quite a few schools, a large catchment in our area. So for instance, last year we actually had 10 schools that our families were involved with. So there's a lot of contact with other schools, and we do that quite early on in the year. So we do make contact with schools and have that contact person, and we find that that really helps with families. One of the things we do now is to assist our families with that. So if that means helping to fill out forms or actually get the forms from the school or even go to the school with the family, we're quite happy to do that. In our service, we're very fortunate to have quite a few recognised Aboriginal families. They're quite strong with their culture within our service, and they like to share that with us, which we're very grateful for. Quite often they will go to a school where cousins or other family members are, so we tend to make that contact with those, and often perhaps asking, would you like a friend to go with you for that first tour? Speak to them about options in relation to getting to school and from school, so that might be the school bus, it might be accessing our service for before and after school care. So we try and make those links again. A few of our schools have got Aboriginal teachers that work there or guidance officers, and we like to make those links there again so we can actually put them in touch with them. We quite often find that they're related in some way, or they know them, which is a wonderful option to have for our families. We have a very open dialogue with our families. A lot of our families have been attending our service since their child was quite young, so we actually start with a baby's room all the way through to kindergarten. Because of that, we've been able to build trust and a strong family connection.
I know that a lot of parents that bring their children to kindergarten, they build those relationships with the teachers, the assistants too as well. And when it's that time for that transition phase and to start prep at school, I think sometimes there's that lack of understanding from the early educator at school about maybe some parents expect that they keep on building that relationship too as well. And you might find parents that say, well, they've had bad experiences when they started school. So, you know, you've got to sometimes work hard on building those relationships with those Aboriginal families. So
this year we've got community members running it. We as a school, we supply the facility. Our local Carlton, Wildura District Aboriginal Services, they supply some food and those sorts of things, and our community members run it. So they run it, so they may be doing activities, particularly a bit of a come and play for the kids to break those barriers, and they've got some learning programs mixed in with that, but also activities for the parents as well. So, you know, there may be some calico drawings and those sorts of things. We're looking at different programs, whether or not it be basket weaving, those sorts of things, where they're programs that are based over a certain number of weeks, so that we get that commitment from the families to come back and finish these projects. So it's not just a 1 weekend and then move out in the next week. It's more about trying to sustain them in the program for as long as we can, so that rapport just continues to grow over the course of the year. We want it to be whole inclusive, so that everybody, when, you know, we're not just branded as a Koorie program focused school. We want to be right across the board, and as a very multicultural school, we want to make sure that we're incorporating as much as we can, but having that strong Koorie community members running this program, it just shows that, you know, it's not, again, just run by the school system. It's giving community that ownership over the school again, as opposed to it just being the school as being part of the community. It's now the community being part of the school.
Our transition program at Mildura Primary School is quite a strong program. It begins in term 3. We feel we have very strong relationships with the kindergartens. We organise some visits. We also have 10 open afternoons where all families are engaged in our program, and they can just come along and join in with a prep session. We also engage in our Koorie workforce. They're helping us to engage the families and bring them on board. We also run some information sessions to support those families so that they're prepared for a school year. I think primarily we just want to alleviate some of those fears of coming to school and also foster the connection from kindergarten to school. We also are able to have a chat to our kindergarten teachers to identify any concerns about future children. Then we can identify that early and look at continuing that. So that's again a smooth transition from kindergarten to school, and helping those parents get on board from before the school year starts so they're ready for the school year.
If attendance is getting in the way, sickness is getting in the way, we personally meet with parents, and our Koorie workforce has been absolutely vital, a vital part of that. Our Kesso, with his home visits, and not always a home visit just to why aren't they here, but well done, we see they've improved. So let's, you know, really build that bank of positive. So when there is a difficult time, we've formed a relationship, and that's what our school is so big on, just those high expectation relationships, that no matter who you are in our school community, you are valued. We don't do standalone Koorie teaching, as in there's not a set time where they may have Koorie books because it's NAIDOC week. So we very much, that's put through our reading schemes. So we have Koorie literacy through our reading schemes. We have our bloke teacher teaching Barkindji, so there's a connection that we work together with that. Our school council president is a Koorie elder, and we also have Uncle Peter, who's a Koorie elder in our school.
I think something that was really important for me to learn was that you get this little child come in the morning, but you've got to consider where that child has come from. We need to consider the whole family situation and really make a good connection with the parents if we want that child to be culturally safe and accepted and to do well in that transition from kinder to school.
I'd like to the schools to understand how Aboriginal families work. So that's just not the nuclear families, it's not just the mum and dad. We have, you know, a large family. So my sisters are not, you know, they're a mum to my daughters as well. I like to see that so they can get a better understanding, and they might think, oh, the auntie's come to pick them up today. And they might understand, oh, mum's busy doing something else. The other mum's coming here to pick them up. And also them to understand that just because I live in Mildura, I don't come from Mildura. So they might have a range of kids, Aboriginal kids in their class that come from different languages and tribes from Australia.
Hippie is a home interaction program for parents and youngsters, and we're in partnership with the Brotherhood of St Lawrence and Hippie Australia. It's a 2-year educational program where we deliver the program to children that are 4 and 5 and work closely with the parents. So we deliver the educational programs to the families in their home, and then the families will deliver that to their child. So it's all about the children, their parents being their child's first teacher. and the word's getting out there more because they've actually been out and done some talks with the kinder teachers and their committees and to Mallee Family Care and like different places that have actually worked with children. We've actually even had a lady from the speech came in and seen me last week and wanted to know how we can combine and work together with Hippie and with speech.